Penny is an absolutely amazing scoop-up supporter coming out in Scarlet and Violet. But what does Penny do? Penny lets you return one of your basic Pokemon in play and all cards attached to your hand. Now, Penny is great for a few reasons, and all these scoop-up supporters are great for this reason. They first let you return one of your Pokemon with damage counters so your opponent can't chase the KO and knock it out. But secondly, you can also preemptively use one of these supporters to bring one of those Pokemon back to hand so your opponent can't boss it, making these cards great. Now, this may not seem like it has had that much competitive play in the past, but it really has. With cards like Acerola and AZ seeing a lot of competitive play in the past, these supporters letting you bring it back to hand and saving those Pokemon and preventing KOs. Now, I titled this video how it's better than CHEREN'S CARE, but you may be asking, why is it better than CHEREN'S CARE? Well, first of all, CHEREN'S CARE is only for colorless Pokemon, and that means that other archetypes and other types of Pokemon don't get the same value because they can't run CHEREN'S CARE. And even a worse card like Volo was still being run in a lot of these decks like Mew, just so that you could manipulate numbers so that you win and manipulate that prize trade. And I believe that Penny is just a simply better Volo, letting you manipulate that damage and that prize trade and just being a lot more usable in a lot of decks rather than CHEREN'S CARE just being in one. And the main deck that I feel that CHEREN'S CARE was being run in was Blissey Yveltal. So this took place at the recent regionals, and it took 17th, and they were running one CHEREN'S CARE. Now, you may be saying, this is a Blissey deck. Shouldn't they be running CHEREN'S CARE? Absolutely not. Penny is way better because they're all basic Pokemon, and it gives you so many more options to scoop something up. So I believe that Penny is better than CHEREN'S CARE on this list, and other basic stall decks are just going to be better with Penny. So I made a tier list of all the scoop up cards because I just wanted to talk about them and talk about them in standard and expanded and which cards are better and which are worse. So I've got a tier list right here, and we've got all the scoop up cards in standard and expanded, and I'm going to be ranking them from S, A, B, C, and D. Now, S is the best card. This means that you would, no matter the situation, most of the time want to choose this card over all the other cards. A are great cards, but there are some rival cards and benefit for different reasons. B means it's good, but you need to have like somewhat of a situation to use it in. C is very situational. This card is only good in a few bits, and D is bad and outright power crept by other cards. So let's start off with Scoop Up Cyclone. I would put it in the C tier. Here's why. If you run computer search, it is simply better than Scoop Up Cyclone because you can search out one of these cards. The only situation where you'd ever want to use Scoop Up Cyclone is a situation where you need to use another supporter and Scoop Up Cyclone. And that is just super improbable and not likely going to happen. I put CHEREN'S CARE in B tier. Here's why. It's only for colorless decks, and I feel that water Pokemon generally have higher HPs, and if this was a water card, it would be way better. Scoop Up Net. Scoop Up Net is great because it lets you bring these Pokemon back to hand for an item so that you can play them later. We've seen this with like the Inteleon engine, and I feel that it is a great card. Acerola is an easy A tier for me. Acerola is great because you can scoop up anything, and most of the time you won't be scooping up something preemptively because you'll have other things that they might want to boss, and so I feel that Acerola is a great card, and it just lets you bring those damaged Pokemon back to hand that are evolved. AZ, I put it in B. AZ kind of does what Acerola does, but it doesn't conserve as many resources, and it is only going to be used for a deck that needs to get those resources. It doesn't need those resources back into hand, and it's just a little bit worse than Acerola. Scoop Up, it's bad. It's outright power crept. I don't think this is a good card. And I'll put it into C, but I feel this card is really bad because of a few reasons. First of all, you're chancing everything on a coin flip. So you may use this as a situation to where you want to do the same things with Scoop Up Cyclone, but you're chancing it on a coin flip, and it's not even guaranteed. While you still get to run another A-Spec, I just don't feel it's that good. Penny. Penny is an A tier. Now, Penny, I feel is great. It's great like Acerola. It just brings something straight back up to hand and conserves resources. No conditions. It's great. Volo is outright power crept because AZ is just simply better than Volo. Now, that's the tier list, so that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and thanks. Oh! And, unban Sableye right now! Please, Pokemon, unban my boy, save my boy. Unban Sableye right now. Watching the card, but save my boy. Unban Sableye. Thank you.